Hi, everyone. Welcome to Life Through Her Eyes. I'm Deborah.
I'm Jackie. Hey,
Welcome to our.
girl.
Hey, girl. We're doing a podcast, obviously talking about life from a woman's perspective. Jackie and I met almost 29 years ago when we were in fifth grade out in Oklahoma. And our friendship has lasted through these years, and we have had a lot of great conversations over the years as we've grown and developed and gone through a lot of different things in life. And we just kind of wanted to share some of our conversations and some of our thoughts, and hopefully also get some good insight from everyone else out there as well, and see if we can grow a nice tribe and community here on this channel. So thank you so much. And so today, our episode, we're going to be talking about why women are choosing lifetime companionship with their friends over their lovers. This
Yeah,
first
you too?
episode, right? It would be a good first episode for us to kind of share with you our life and worldviews. So, Jackie, you want to take over and kind of start off and let them know what got you interested in that?
Yeah, absolutely. To kind of pin on what you had said too, maybe it's not just us, maybe it's a bunch of other people out there too choosing this, you know, different path. So I know for me, um, we always have gotten along so well. And even during, there was like a 10-year gap where we didn't really, talk very much. But even after all of that, like I know, like we can vacation together, we've lived together, like we can do all these things. And, you know, like we've talked about all kinds of, ways we see our future. And they're very similar,
Yeah.
and I think we bounce a lot of great ideas off each other. So it just kind of made sense when we first started talking about it. I know because of my history, just throughout my life, um, I couldn't see spending a forever with someone that wasn't my best friend, and you're my best friend. So, I mean, it was
Yeah.
kind of organically came to that place, I guess, for me. For me.
Yeah.
How about for you?
I love that you said that. How we naturally have a desire to be with our best friends. And sometimes people luck out and their best friend is the person they marry, and not everybody's that lucky. And one thing I've noticed over the years is obviously we change and we all evolve and grow. And no matter if that's a relationship with your parents and your children, or your best friends, or your lover and spouse, like everyone grows and changes. And some people give more space and room to grow than others, I feel. And for me
Oh
personally,
yeah.
um when I've noticed when I'm not in a sexual or sensual relationship with someone, like in my situation with you, like I have this philia type of love, like the Philadelphia type of brotherly love with you, versus
Yes.
eros that I would have with my lovers, which is that sensual sexual love. And the philia is going to be that type of love that is long lasting, and it's more tolerable and understanding of a person when
Mhm.
they do things that you don't like,
Absolutely.
because when you're in a passionate situation, generally you everything's quick and in the moment, and you're thinking more of now and how you feel, and it's very intense feelings oriented, versus philia where you're like, yeah, I know they're an asshole right now, but it's okay, they'll get over it. I
Well,
already know this is the pattern in them, and I can wait this out because I love them, and I know that this is part of what they're going through and what they struggle with, and you accept it. Versus when you're in a passionate sensual relationship, I feel like you have more of a desire to want to control or change or have a person be a specific way. You don't give them as much grace.
mm,
So I think that was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to cohabit with you long term, and think of like not just being with a male partner in life forever again. I mean, I was in a relationship for 19 years, married for almost 14 of those, and there was a lot of wonderful things about it, but then there were a lot of hardships and things that I feel like I sacrificed that I don't have to
Mhm.
sacrifice if I'm with you.
Right, right. Well, and you said something too, um, where in a sensual love, versus a brotherly love. A sensual love, a lot of times, like there's arguments and things that stem because a lot of times people are taking things personally that the other
Mm-hmm.
person is doing. It's like, oh, that's against you. It's ego is what a lot of it is, but it's also because that now when you're a sensual partner, you have an idea that now you guys are one. And so anything
Mm.
that the other person does, it's almost like a personal violation, is what a
Yeah,
lot
it
of people
directly
take.
affects me. It has to directly affect me
Right,
because
right,
we are now one.
right, right. Which I'm not going to say is the case. I mean, there's always exception to the rule. I'm not
Right.
saying it's always this way, but a lot of times in that sensual, because we've had that conversation where me and you're like, dang, like the Jackie that some of your exes have gotten, like
Yeah.
you would never see that because we don't have that sensual love where any of that's going to be turned on you because it's a different kind of connection.
So what Jackie's really trying to say is I will never see the level of crazy that her ex-boyfriends have seen or ex-husbands
Yeah,
because we
yeah.
don't do it. So since we're not doing that, she's never going to go that
It's
crazy
not,
on me
it's
like other people have had the pleasure of getting. I've never gotten that. I've seen crazy. I've seen her crazy on other people, but not towards me in that same intensity because to our point earlier that Eros has like a different level of energy
yeah,
that
it does.
that is attached to it than what a brotherly love would be.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I feel like you taught me what it is like to actually really love somebody. Like where nothing that you could ever do, I don't see you any differently. Like you do not change in my eyes except for like your glow ups. You know what I mean? There's nothing that I've ever like thought of you differently. And I'm not gonna lie, like in my previous relationships, there are things that people do and just all of a sudden you just like you look at them and you're just like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
and I don't want to sit there and say like, well, that's because I love conditionally. But I definitely have I am conditional on who I choose to share my space. I'm not
Right.
conditional in my love. Because I do think you can love somebody and not be with that person. But yeah, to like change, like I can. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I know I love you because there's nothing you can do that could ever like change how I view you. So I think that's
Right.
an amazing, beautiful thing. Why would I not want to spend the rest of my life with that? Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Hmm.
That's nice that I was one of the people who helped teach you to love, and specifically unconditionally, because we are very similar but very different too. I think our relationship has
Mhm.
always been very interesting like that. But I love it. I like that in the places that I'm weak, you're strong, and vice versa. And I feel like we can each teach each other stuff, and um
Balance.
yeah, we balance each other, but we also at the same time are like headed in very similar paths and directions, and that makes
Exactly.
it easier for us to work together because some ways that we behave or think about
Mhm.
certain things, but in the grand scheme of things I think we are very similar, just having lived life and experienced it in very different ways, so we have different ways that we think and view it,
Yeah.
but
Well, and
we
having this same vision, right?
still have the
Yeah. I think that's important. I think that's probably a key. I really think that's a key in choosing lifetime companion, right? You
Yeah.
got to be headed in the same direction. Like you just have to, really have to.
Yeah. And I think another thing that I love about it is choosing to pair with my best friend instead of a man again. Because again, I've given at least almost 20 years to one person,
Yeah.
and there's pros and cons to that. But just realizing that with you, I can have financial stability and companionship
Mhm.
without the necessary obligation to act sexually pleasing to a person and doing fetishes that they like, or having me hold myself a certain way that makes them comfortable or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, I'm
Mhm.
able to be all of who I am in our lifetime time relationship, but at the same time know that I have the financial stability and the companionship because we already enjoy each other's company,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
And when I think about it, there are studies that say that women who are single live X amount of years longer than women who are married.
Yeah.
And
Well, and it would be nice too to know that, like, if anything ever happened to me medically, you have legal documentation saying that you have the right to say so, because we're not blood family, we're chosen family.
right.
And that's kind of a way that we can become a family. So I mean, I get what you were saying when we talked about it, definitely. So
Yeah.
I mean, there are
I know
benefits
it's
for
not,
sure.
and I know it's not traditional marriage like between a hetero man and a hetero woman or whatever, but as we see now, a lot of things are changing in life, and we are, as women, I think at the first time in history that we're able to make independent decisions truly for ourselves
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
only considering our well-being and our benefit selfishly,
Yeah.
like men have forever. And I think it's really cool that we can go, you know what, as much as I love men and I appreciate them, and I'm not saying F them and they're below us. But what I realize is when it's down to my happiness, my long
Mhm.
term happiness and well being,
Yeah.
I think men being in my life temporarily and not permanently benefits me more, because most of these relationships only have that honeymoon phase for up to 2 years anyways, and then when it's over. Cool, at least this time I didn't move in with them and get married and engaged really quick and get pregnant and all these other things, like, because I
Yeah.
have a life partner that is going to help keep me
Yeah.
in alignment with our goals and go, hey baby, that doesn't really fit with what we're trying to do right now. Have fun with whatever you want, unless this is a person that meets all of your everything and they've been
Yeah.
around for years and years and years, and it has been proven that you all want to do something bigger, and then they can move on to the land with us and you
Yep.
all can have that part of the
Right.
land.
Right.
But
Exactly.
that doesn't stop us from doing our business and
Hmm.
have our companionship that we have as well.
Yeah.
It would just grow our family versus
Hmm.
us feel like we're out here looking and waiting for some man to
Yep.
satisfy and fulfill us. And when we get this man, then we can have all the things that we ever
Right.
wanted in life. Like, we're not, it's not, our happiness is no longer contingent upon finding a life partner in a male or woman, if that's whoever
Hmm.
we decide to be
Right.
with,
Right.
on a sensual eros level, what I'm saying, of love. But I'm happy just being, being a roommate of yours forever and going halvesies,
Yeah.
halvesies on
Yeah.
things,
Well,
and
well,
traveling the world, and just
well,
enjoying all those benefits.
absolutely, absolutely. Like, I think part of it though is too, um, it's a little difficult to find a partner that's wanting companionship, that is understanding of the things that you and I have talked about wanting to do.
Yeah,
Um,
it's true.
so then there's that component. Like, if that was an option, right? It's not saying that either you or me would be like, nah. It's just that's not in our experience what we have found. We've
Right.
found that companionship in each other. You know,
Yeah.
um, and it's a big difference between need and want, right? Like,
Hmm.
to be able to say for any other amorous partner in our lives, we want them, we don't need them, but
Right.
it's going to come down to it. And Deborah, like, I need you in my life. Like, you're my best friend. Like, you're the one I'm going to tackle all this shit with. And just like you said before, knowing that any kind of amorous partnership that you and I choose to do, nothing is going to falter with the plans that you and I have had, regardless. I
Right.
think there's a
Or
huge
else that
security in
we
that.
would Right, or else we would choose not to move forward in that relationship if we realize that the person that's trying to partner with us is not in agreement with what we've already made agreements to,
Exactly.
especially
Exactly.
w- when we're at a point that we have interconnected lives and businesses and incomes and
Mm-hmm.
households and everying together.
Everything.
Like, we are
Everything.
basically married, so you can't get married to someone else if you're already married legally. So, another benefit of us marrying each other is that we can't marry some stupid person again that's not worthy of us without the other person's permission and divorce.
That part.
So, that part.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
I know it's unconventional and it's not for everyone, and that's fine. We're not
Right,
here
right.
telling everybody, this is the way. Come follow us. This is a way. This is
Started
just
following in
this
all
is
the
just something
paths.
that we have been thinking about for years and preparing
Mhm.
for, as our children grow up and they finish high school and move on to college and become
Yep.
adults, like that we're ready to have that level of stability with the person that we do love,
Mhm.
and that we do enjoy being around. And our tribe may grow. Like, we're very happy to envision other, most likely women, not that men will never join, but other sisters to join in our sisterhood and
Yeah,
our community. But first, we have to start it, and
exactly. Yep.
we got to just wait a few more years, but we could start doing all the preparation and stuff now, which I'm really
Yeah, getting
excited
work on that
about. But
foundation.
yeah,
Yeah.
girl. But again, I'm so happy that we've been friends and that we are on this journey together. You are awesome. And I look
I
forward to
love your
being
face.
your lifelong roomie. And
Yes.
yeah, well, I love you. And thank you, everyone, for listening to us today. And if you have any questions or even ideas for conversation, please hit us up and we're happy to chat with you. Y'all have a
Yeah.
wonderful day.
Don't forget,
Bye.
like and subscribe.
Good, good, good. Good call, Jackie. Bye.
Bye.